Hello everyone, today we're going to be discussing another topic in the metal community that's slightly talked about. Are the later Metallica albums bad? Now, we're going to be talking about 4 albums. Saint Anger, released in 2003, Death Magnetic, released in 2008, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, released in 2016, and 72 Seasons, released in 2023. Now, let's get on with it. First, we start off with Saint Anger, released in 2003. Now, this album is greatly criticized for multiple reasons. First off, Saint Anger is the 8th studio album released by American heavy metal band Metallica on June 5th, 2003 through Elektra Records. The album is the final collaboration between Metallica and longtime producer Bob Rock, with whom the band had worked with since 1990. This album is the only Metallica album as a trio, as bassist Jason Newsted left the band prior to the recording sessions. Bob Rock played bass in Jason Newsted's place, and Robert Trujillo joined the band following its completion. Although Trujillo does not play on the album, he is credited with linear notes, who fucking knows, and appears in the photos of the band in the album's booklet. Recording began in April 2001, but was postponed after rhythm guitarist and vocalist James Hetfield entered rehabilitation for alcoholism and various other addictions, and recording did not resume until May 2002. The recording is the subject of the 2004 documentary film Metallica, Some Kind of Monster. Saint Anger departed from Metallica's signature style with an alternative metal style, raw production, metallic drum sound, and no guitar solos. The artwork was created by frequent Metallica collaborator Pushhead. I don't know how to say his name. Pushhead, I don't know. Saint Anger was intended for release on June 10th, 2003, but was released 5 days earlier due to concerns over unlicensed Let me read this. I'm not very good at reading. I'm fucking stupid. Distribution via peer-to-peer file sharing networks. Despite mixed reviews, it debuted at the top of sales charts in 14 countries, including the US Billboard 200. Metallica spent 2 years touring to promote the album in 2004. The lead single, Saint Anger, the title track, won a Grammy Award for Best Metal Performance. Saint Anger was certified double platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America, RIAA, for shipping 2 million copies in the US. It has sold nearly 6 million copies. Metallica rented an old United States Army barracks for a recording studio. Yeah, they made it into a makeshift studio in January 2001. Alright. The singles released for Saint Anger: Saint Anger, Frantic, The Unnamed Feeling, and Some Kind of Monster. The album is 75 minutes, and genres are alternative metal, new metal. which makes a lot of sense. Anyway, let us commence with the album Saint Anger Remastered. No, we're just gonna do the regular album. So, let me just get this out of the way real quick. The album is not good in the slightest bit. The album is criticized specifically for the snare. You'll hear it. Anyway, the first song on the album, Frantic. Yeah, this album is fucking awful. Saint Anger, title track. It's funny, I actually like this riff. This double kick is actually really cool, though. Yeah, that double kick right there is actually really cool, though. But anyway, yeah, this album is atrocious. Some kind of monster. There's actually a lot of riffs on this album that are actually really good. Yeah. Dirty Window. Oh, God. Metallica. Invisible Kid. Yeah. My World. Yay. Shoot Me Again. Yay. Sweet Amber, the best song on the album. So, even though there are no solos on this album, Kirk Hammett still plays guitar on this album. But there are just no solos. I think one of my friends told me that when they perform songs from Saint Anger like live, they'll have solos, but I'm like, how does that even work? That doesn't even make sense. This is the best part of the song. Yeah. The Unnamed Feeling. Yay. Purify. Ooh. All Within My Hands. The final song. I just can't with the snare. Alright. Back to facts about Saint Anger. As plans are being made to enter the studio to write and record its first album in nearly 5 years, the band postponed their recording because of the departure of bassist Jason Newsted on January 17, 2001, with Newsted stating his departure was due to private and personal reasons and the physical damage I have done to myself over the years while playing the music that I love. Due to the difficulty in immediately finding or auditioning for a replacement for Newsted to write and record with so close to the rescheduled sessions, Metallica accepted an offer from Bob Rock to play bass on the album in Newsted's place, and stated that they would find an official bass player upon the album's completion. In February 2003, as Saint Anger was nearing completion, Metallica hired Robert Trujillo as their new bassist. He appeared on the footage of studio rehearsals of Saint Anger in its entirety, which was included on DVD in the album package. These are very interesting facts about Saint Anger. Because I already knew a lot of these facts. Like, I knew Jason left the band. Like, I knew James entered rehab and that kind of thing. In July 2001, recording came to a halt when James Hetfield entered rehab for alcoholism and other undisclosed addictions. Hetfield returned in December 2001 but was only allowed to work on the album from noon to 4 o'clock p.m. as the band resumed recording on April 12, 2002. Due to his personal problems as well as Metallica's internal struggles, the band hired a personal enhancement coach, Phil Towle. This and the recording of the album was documented by filmmakers Joe Berlinger and Bruce Sinofsky, and released in 2004 as the film Metallica, Some Kind of Monster. From May 2002 until April 2003, the album was recorded at a new studio in San Rafael, California, known as HQ. Whoa! Hetfield stated the album was written with a lot of passion. He said, "There's 2 years of condensed emotion in this. We've gone through a lot of personal changes, struggles, epiphanies. It's deep. It's so deep lyrically and musically. Saint Anger is just the best that it can be from us right now. The band purposely wanted a raw sound on the album so that Rock did not polish the sound while mixing. The band desired the raw sound because of the depth of the emotion they felt and did not want to mess with it." Bob Rock commented, "I wanted to do something to shake up radio and the way everything else sounds. To me, the album sounds like 4 guys in a garage getting together and writing rock songs. There was really no time to get amazing performances out of James. We liked the raw performances, and we didn't do what everyone was blah blah fuck. I hate myself. And we didn't do what everyone does and what I've been guilty of for a long time, which is tuning vocals. We just did it, boom, and that was it." I need to stop talking so fast. I sound stupid. Anyway, that's it with facts for Saint Anger. Now we're moving on to the next album that's actually good, Death Magnetic. Death Magnetic is the ninth studio album released by American heavy metal band Metallica. Released on September 12, 2008 through Warner Bros. Records in the United States and Vertigo Records somewhere elsewhere. The album was produced by Rick Rubin of Slayer and other bands, marking the band's first album since Metallica in 1991, not to be produced by longtime collaborator Bob Rock. It is the first album to feature Robert Trujillo on bass. Now, the album is criticized for its compression. The album is victim of the loudness wars, which was very common in the 2000s, where producers would basically just compress the hell out of the audio to catch attention. But even with the compression, I still think this album is a godsend. It's a return to Metallica's thrashy side, with very, very fast guitar and insane drumming from Lars Ulrich, surprisingly. Anyway. James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich as co-producers as well. Metallica began writing music for a new album in 2006, later recording the album at a different studio in Los Angeles. From March 2007 to May 2008, they recorded it. Musically, Death Magnetic is a radical departure from Metallica's previous album, Saint Anger, and is considered to be a return to the band's thrash metal roots. With more complex compositions, standard guitar tuning on most songs, and long guitar solos from Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield. It also includes the band's first instrumental piece, Suicide and Redemption, since To Live Is To Die from And Justice For All in 1988. The singles from Death Magnetic are The Day That Never Comes, My Apocalypse, All Nightmare Long, and Broken Beat and Scarred. The genres are thrash metal and heavy metal, and the album is 74 minutes long. Anyway, on to the songs. The first song, That Was Just Your Life. Yeah, this album was definitely more metal, like thrash metal, which I really like. The next song, End of the Line. Yeah. Next song, Broken Beating Skull. Yeah. And then the most played song on the album, The Day That Ever Comes. I'm gonna skip to the best part of the song. Wait. That's an epic riff. Yeah. Best part of the song. Yeah. The best song on the album, All Nightmare Long. I'm also going to skip to the best part of this. Oh my God, that's heavy. Yeah. Cyanide. Next song. Oh my God. Oh God. This is the only bad song on the album, Unforgiven 3. I don't even want to play this. The Judas Kiss. Yeah. And then the instrumental is Suicide and Redemption. Yeah. My Apocalypse. Yeah. I wish I was using the Guitar Hero 3 versions of this album, like of these songs, because that's the non-compressed versions. Anyway, I think this is my favorite album of the later Metallica albums because it's just really good. Alright. Death Magnetic made Metallica the first band to achieve 5 consecutive number one studio albums on the US Billboard 200. The album received positive reviews from critics who considered it a return to form for Metallica. However, the album's production was criticized as overcompressed and cited as a product of the Loudness War. The album and its songs were nominated for 6 Grammys, 5 in 2009 and 1 in 2010, and won 3, including Best Metal Performance for My Apocalypse. In support of the album, Metallica embarked on the World Magnetic Tour from October 2008 to November 2010. 4 unreleased tracks from the album's recording sessions were later released as the Beyond Magnetic EP in December 2011. Heck yeah. In October 2004, the band had already compiled nearly 50 hours of preset jamming with hundreds of riffs, chord progressions, and bass lines. That's cool. Alright. Next album, Hardwired to Self-Destruct. This album was also really thrash metal. Hardwired to Self-Destruct is the 10th studio album by American heavy metal band Metallica. Released as a double album on November 18, 2016 by the band's record label Blackened Recordings. It was Metallica's first studio album in 8 years following Death Magnetic from 2008. Marking the longest gap between studio albums in the band's career, and its first studio album released through Blackened Records. The album was produced by Greg Fidelman, who engineered and mixed Death Magnetic. Hardwired to Self-Destruct was Metallica's 6th consecutive studio album to Hardwired to Self-Destruct was Metallica's 6th consecutive studio album to debut at number 1 on the US Billboard 200. There we go. Selling 291,000 units in its first week and topping the charts in 57 countries. The number 1 ranking marked only the second time in the chart's history that any band had 6 consecutive albums to debut at number 1. Whew. The album received generally positive reviews from critics, and in 2020, Metallica drummer Lars Ulrich ranked the album as the band's best. Oof. Singles for the album: the title track Hardwired, Moth into Flame, Atlas Rise, Now That We're Dead, and Spit Out the Bone. In October 2011, bassist Robert Trujillo said that the band had returned to the studio to begin writing new material. He said, "The writing process for the new Metallica album has begun. We've been in the studio with Rick Rubin working on a couple things, and we're going to be recording during the most of next year." an interview with Classic Rock on January 8th, 2013, Lars Ulrich said regarding the album, "What we're doing now certainly sounds like a continuation of Death Magnetic." He also said, "I love Rick Rubin. We all love Rick. We're in touch with Rick constantly. We'll see where it goes. It would stun me if the record came out in 2013. In July 2013 review, Ulrich told Ultimate Guitar, 2014 will be all about making a new Metallica record. He said the album would most likely be released during 2015. Robert Trujillo and Kirk Hammett later confirmed the band's intention to enter the studio. Yay. Alright. Why did I just put on cap locks? Alright. The title track, Hardwired. Yeah, that's cool. Alright, next song, Atlas Reich. That's cool. Now that we're dead. I love that riff. The best song on the album, well, actually, no. One of the best songs on the album, Moth into Flame. Yeah, that's a sick riff. Next song, Dream No More. Yeah. Next song, Halo on Fire. Yay. Confusion. That's cool. Mankind. Wow. Here comes revenge. Yeah. Whoa. Am I savage? Wow. Murder One. I hate the song. Yay. And then the best song on the album, Spit Out a Bone. Now we're gonna go to the breakdown. I love that riff. Lords of Summer. Nice. Alright. And then the final later Metallica album. Oh, what the fuck? The final later Metallica album is 72 Seasons. Oh, what the fuck? Why do they have 1 hour clean pop song? That's funny. Alright. 72 Seasons is the 11th studio album released by American heavy metal band Metallica. It was released on April 14th, 2023 by their own record, Blackened Recordings. 72 Seasons was produced by Greg Fidelman, who produced the band's previous studio album, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, and is the band's second studio album to be released through Blackened Recordings. The album received generally positive reviews from critics who mostly praised Hetfield's lyrics and vocal performance, but criticized the album's length. Owie. Anyway, 72 Seasons received 3 nominations at the 66 Grammy Awards, winning Best Metal Performance for the title track, 72 Seasons. 72 Seasons includes Metallica's longest original song to date, Inamorata, which runs for over 11 minutes. The album is 77 minutes long, the second longest Metallica album, I think. The genres are heavy metal and thrash metal, basically the same as Death Magnetic and Hardwired. Singles for the album are Lux Eterna, Screaming Suicide, If Darkness Had a Sun, 72 Seasons, and Too Far Gone. I won't bore you with any facts about the album because I want to get this video done. Title track, 72 Seasons. Yeah. Shadows Follow. That's cool. Screaming Suicide. My favorite Metallica bass line ever. I hate myself. There we go. That's so cool. You must burn. Nice. And the most popular song on the album, Lux Eterna. Voice crack. That's so cool. Crown of barbed wire. Well, Chasing Light. There's no light. That's a cool beat. And then this one. If Darkness Had a Son. Nice. Too Far Gone. Nice. Room of Mirrors. And then the longest song, Inamorata. Alright. We are finally done with the video. Now, what do you guys think about the later Metallica albums? Or the modern Metallica albums? Or, I don't know. What do you guys think of them? I think they're really good, except for Saint Anger, obviously. Anyway, I will see you guys later.